Hi, I'm Casey, and I'm the creative mind behind Hotbox. And we are a SoCal company that grows from seed to storefront. And that means one important thing: we're not sourced. Everything that we grow is done in our multiple indoor cultivation farms. And this is how we maintain such careful quality and control over the entire process, from the seed beginnings to your store to the customer's head. How does Hotbox grow, and what are our cultivation methods? Well, I'm glad you asked. Our grows are fully indoor and utilize the industry's latest technology in order to meticulously maintain the ideal environment for round-the-year harvest, while also staying as green as possible. For nutrients, we use a proprietary nutrient blend based on years of tissue analysis. We listen to the plant, telling us what it wants, in order to create the most complete and fully balanced nutrient line. We use water fertilization, reverse osmosis, and also a nanobubbler, quickly dissolving oxygen levels so that when you feed the plant, there's a faster fertilizer uptake and it helps mitigate fungal diseases. We also are pioneers in utilizing air filtration in our room, putting us at the forefront of this technology. This helps ensure that your flower is not only the most robust terpene and TH profiles that we can provide, but also make sure that everything that touches it is clean and purified before it enters into our system. For our mothers, we use cocoa cubes to preserve their moisture, and rock wool for the clones in the flowering plants in order to create the ideal environment to optimize the plant's growth. This gives us more control over the plants and how quickly they absorb the water and nutrients, as well as the ability to tailor to the plant's needs. We do a 12 to 14 day cold dry, which allows for terpene and trichome preservation. Our head grower actually squeezes the nugs to test for moisture and pinpoint the precise moment in which you'll get the perfect, cleanest smoke. Every single strain is gone through and identified into what the best grow method is for that specific strain. As for our harvesting style, we do not cut down early to artificially increase the THC percentages. Every step we take, we do so to preserve the integrity of the flavor and the high. Our genetics are pheno-hunted in-house and grown to fruition. Again, we do not source. And as for where we grow, our largest indoor farm is in Desert Hot Springs. In total, we have 3 large grows in both the desert and here in our hometown of Los Angeles.
Before we get into our strains, we want to cover terpenes and the entourage effect theory. You've probably heard this term before, but in case you haven't, in the simplest terms, the entourage effect describes the idea that compounds other than the plant's most well-known cannabinoid THC work in concert with THC to adjust the plant's ultimate psychoactive and medicinal effect on a patient. We say in concert for a reason. Because a high is like a symphony. While the first chair violinist plays an important role, the sound of the violin is no match for the total orchestra of instruments, which is what really blows away the listener. This is the reason why we know better than to rely on THC percentage alone when evaluating the profile of our strains' highs, because we have carefully selected our strains for their terpene profiles too, not an arbitrary number. We cannot stress this enough. Cannabis is not like alcohol. New adopters will be tempted to use what they already know about alcohol and try to apply that to cannabis. Do not let them be misled. Unlike alcohol, the potency of the high does not have to do with one numerical percentage alone. There are so many components of cannabis: the terpenes, CBD, delta THC, flavonoids. These all play an important role in the final orchestra of a high. Also, remember that while a cheap bottle of vodka with a higher proof may achieve an effect that sets in a little quicker than a fine bottle of wine or whiskey, that vodka pales in comparison to the enriched and far more enjoyable experience of its more finely cultivated and carefully crafted counterpart. Just like you'll get a hangover from a high-proof alcohol that's cheap and poorly made, you can also have an unpleasant come down from cannabis whose only selling point is a high THC number. Hotbox, however, grows for more than just potency. We pay attention to the 3 T's, not just THC, but also trichomes and terpenes. Here's a quick refresher on terpenes before we move into the strains that you're carrying right now. Terpenes are the secondary metabolites we credit with the flavors and fragrances that characterize certain plants. The idea that terpenes can trigger changes in human biochemistry is the underlying theory behind aromatherapy and essential oils. Hospitals all over the world, including Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins, have turned to these treatments after a number of studies have suggested they are effective. There are hundreds of terpenes to consider, but we will look at just a few of the key ones that factor into our best highs. First, there's beta-caryophyllene, which is the most commonly found terpene in cannabis and also found in black pepper cloves and cinnamon. This terpene is backed by the highest number of studies that have shown it has an effect, an anti-inflammatory effect, on the human endocannabinoid system. Limonene, as anyone can guess, is the terpene behind lemon's famous citrus smell. It's found in lemons, oranges, and rosemary, and has been credited with producing an elevated mood. If you've ever wondered why the scent of lemon has been incorporated into numerous detergents and cleaners, it's partly because these brands want to make cleaning feel energizing, invigorating, and less of a chore. And then there's the most commonly found terpene in nature overall, pinene. You'll find it in, you guessed it, pine needles. Some research indicates that pinene may help with memory, which is what drove the city of Tokyo to make room in its crowded city for pine trees, despite real estate being at such a premium, to allow exhausted workers to take a break and ostensibly cleanse their minds before returning to the daily grind. Myrcene is another terpene commonly found in cannabis. It's also found in mango, lemongrass, and thyme, and studies show it helps with muscle relaxation. Guaiol is a less common terpene, also associated with the pine smell and taste, as well as anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Linalool, ocimene, and humulene are three more terpenes you'll see in less high concentrations, but have also shown incredibly therapeutic effects. Linalool, in particular, is responsible for the intoxicating floral aroma that comes from lavender and birch bark. And lavender has proven to have a calming effect on patients. So you can see how terpenes already fulfill an instrumental role in many, many therapeutic ways. Now we can get into our strains and how terpenes play a part.
Three Kings, the holy trinity of OGs. This is a three-way combo of sour diesel, headband, and OG Kush, better known as a tribrid. Its nose and flavor is tangy and sour, its high is relaxing without heavy sedation, and its terpenes are very high in beta-myrcene and limonene. Its name is derived from the three strains often crowned as royalty by the cannabis community, hence its name, Three Kings. Ice cream sherbet, a cross between ice cream cake and sunset sherbet. It's an indica-dominant hybrid. Its nose and flavor is berry, sweet, and flowery, and its high is happy and relaxed. Its terpenes are rich in limonene, good for uplifting, beta-caryophyllene, it's an anti-inflammatory, and linalool, an anti-anxiety terpene. So no wonder this strain offers a happy and relaxed high. Gelato, a true hybrid, crossed with Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies and sunset sherbet. Its nose and flavor is fruity and yeasty, and its terpenes are myrcene, limonene, and humulene. This gelato is not just another high, it's a moment you will not soon forget. Scotty's Mom, one of my favorite pieces of art to draw for our strains, is a cross between baked biscotti and gelato. It's an indica with heavy terpenes of myrcene and limonene. Be ready to smash through that creative block with our stickiest, cheesiest gas yet. This strain comes packed with terps, THC, and total bliss, letting you hotbox your head without the fog. Scotty's Mom smokes smooth with a crisp exhale. OG Stacks is an indica-dominant hybrid. It's a cross between wedding cake and Kush mints. Its terpenes are myrcene and limonene. OG Stacks is that high that contradicts that money can't buy happiness. It comes enough of a body high to tingle the digits and the headiness that will inspire ideas to save the world. Padre OG. I'm sure you guys all know what that was named after, especially if you've had a chance to look at the artwork. It's a cross between Sin Mint cookies and OG Kush, with the terpenes of limonene and guaiol. Are you looking for a religious experience or just a strain that will balance you from the chaos of the day-to-day? No matter how you responded to that question, this strain is the answer. Known for its calming, stress-reducing, and pain-relieving qualities, you can't go wrong hitting this strain day or night. Pink Cherry, one of our newer strains, is an indica. It's a cross between lemon cherry gelato and pink panties, filled with beta-caryophyllene and linalool. Have you ever been kissed by a cherry? Neither have we, but we'd like to think that this strain is what it would feel like. Sweet but skunky, this strain will leave you feeling mellow and euphoric, but still able to function throughout your day. Now for a note about our Hotbox Reserve line, since you also carry those strains. It's our top shelf collection. Its name comes from the days of private reserves, when a customer could be invited to hand select the best nugs to take home. Today with Hotbox Reserve, consumers can be confident that the jar that they take home includes only nugs hand selected by our head grower. They are quite literally the top of the tops. So that means harvests come in to just 2 to 3 small batches, carefully selected to go into each jar. This of course makes Reserve only available in extremely limited quantities, but what you get is the best of the best every single time.